checking in on our lib friends. Does everyone make sure they're okay with the whole tariff thing, kind of working out in Trump's favor? I know that really makes them upset, and they cry a lot. Also, the Pope's brother turns out to be extremely based. It's kind of hilarious what he has posted in the past. I'm not sure if that's going to become church doctrine, but it still is interesting nonetheless. And also, CNN asks a cartel member whether or not President Trump has hurt his feelings. Seriously. All that and more coming up on this episode of Turning Point tonight. My name is Joe Bob. Thanks so much for tuning in. Together, we are charting the course of America's cultural comeback. This is Turning Point tonight. Now, before we get to any of those stories and our fantastic panel, we got to talk about the Newark mayor getting arrested on Friday. If you missed this story, I'm not sure how you did. I would love to see how big the rock that you live under is, but regardless, the Newark mayor was arrested. And if you see the headlines on all of the lib media, the Newark mayor arrested for standing in the street. That one thing to be wary about, if you ever see the phrase arrested for, generally speaking, the last part of it is probably made up trying to influence the narrative on one side or another. And that's no difference in this case. There is a new ICE facility opening in Newark that the Trump administration said, hey, we're going to start shipping people out of the country because, again, I don't know if you heard of this, millions, tens of millions, possibly even more than that, have entered the country illegally, and the Trump administration is trying to get them out. Now, in response to the Trump administration opening up a detention facility in Newark, the proud libs of Newark, including congresswomen, men, and this guy, the mayor, decided they were going to join protests outside the facility. Now, after the gate opened, the Newark mayor effectively charged into the facility's parking lot, was told to leave promptly, asked again and again and again and again, said leave the premises. He went out to the parking lot but didn't leave and therefore was arrested. Newsflash, libs, just because you're the mayor or a judge or whoever doesn't mean you get a free pass to do whatever it is that you want. But I don't want to bury the lead here. The lead is this is clearly a publicity stunt. The Newark mayor is running for governor of the state of New Jersey, and what better way to get yourself in the headlines than to be unjustly in quotes here, arrested by the evil Trump administration? Here's the bottom line to all of this. There is a way that you don't have to constantly orchestrate publicity stunts, libs. You don't have to get arrested by the evil administration. And that way you do that is called governing. The thing that you're elected to do. If you don't like the policies, here's an idea, Congress, pass some laws that don't allow the policies to take place. And if you're not going to be able to do that, well, I guess publicity stunts is the only way that you're going to continue to get attention and run for higher office. So note to libs, maybe try governing for a change rather than trying to gain attention off the backs of the media that will always be friendly to your cause. Here to comment on that and so much more is Turning Point USA contributor Morgan McMichael, and saving our butt today on the show, Chris Hand, host of The Chris Hand Show. Guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Shabab.
Morgan, so this clearly seems to me is a publicity stunt. Guy trying to get attention because he's running for governor, and wow, he's been all over the lib media. He was on MSNBC a bunch, CNN saying, I got arrested by the Trump administration. Okay, well, yeah, he's also breaking the law, allegedly. The Trump administration also says the three congresswomen that were with him could also be getting some charges filed against them. The libs are all about publicity stunts. AOC going to cry at the fences with the kids in cages and so much more. Your thoughts on the attempt for attention on the lib side?
It 100% is an attempt for attention. And I was going to say that this is giving AOC going to the cages all for a photo opportunity. Every single one of these libs involved with getting arrested at the ICE facility in Newark, is rightfully so. If you're going to play a stupid game, you're going to win stupid prizes. Maybe do your job, follow the law. It's not that hard. Every other American in this country abides by the law of the land. Maybe you guys should too, especially since you're elected officials and supposed to be leading your state and leading your counties. So I just think it's a little rules for thee, not for me. I'm going to go here. I'm going to protest because I don't want ICE to be deporting people out of our state. Yet you're getting arrested. Try again, maybe a little harder next time. If you really want to stop the immigration from happening, try doing your job, maybe.
Yeah, just because you're mayor doesn't mean you get to go anywhere you want, including restricted federal areas. Chris, I want to get your comments. Let me play like 10 seconds of that video with some audio so you can hear the shrieking. Let him go! What about free speech? All of that sort of stuff. Watch this, it'll get your reaction. That's about enough of that. The idea that somebody can actually get worked up, and maybe it is they actually believe that this is some sort of injustice done to their mayor. On the other side, Chris, unfortunately, I think we all know this world a little bit too well. His media people, his social media manager was probably like, yes, this is going to get us on all the talk shows. We're going to have so much good content from this. At any point, are libs going to start abiding by the law, or do you think they're going to continue the publicity stunts over and over and over again until, well, I don't know, they're not going to get their way legislatively, but they will raise money, I guess.
No, we got more publicity stunts incoming, and this is going to continue to be a trend until we reach the midterm elections. Then we may get about a week off, and then it's going to happen again for the presidential election. Let's be perfectly honest. I got to tell you though, there's a reason why Turning Point Tonight is one of my favorite shows, and it's because I learned so much every time I listen to you guys. I did not know that Ras Baraka was thinking about running for governor, but it actually makes a lot of sense because that's a prerequisite in New Jersey. We know that Phil Murphy has the illegal alien living above his garage, so this guy needs some street cred. So that makes a lot of sense. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of Democrats getting arrested. I think a lot of people that listen to this show or watch this channel are a fan of Democrats getting arrested. I just want more. Can we get more arrests, please? We need more arrests. And hopefully LaMonica McIver is the next to go. Did you see her? We could use her on the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans. I guarantee you that would be clutch.
I also think it's so fascinating that this is political persecution, because you see it all over the internet. Like, oh, you mean like the thing that you guys did to the last guy, which actually was political persecution, especially with Letitia James, with no victims. Everyone was happy with the deals. It's astonishing. But again, I keep saying this. I hope they continue doing it so that the American people go, oh yeah, these people are all nuts. Speaking of people who are nuts, I'm not sure if you saw this interview last week on CNN. CNN sent a reporter down to interview a member of the Sinaloa cartel. I'm going to play you the video clip, and then I'm going to translate effectively what she asked the cartel. Watch this.
According to the Trump administration, you are a terrorist. I mean, the cartels have been labeled foreign terrorist organization. What do you make of that?
Está fea la situación, ¿verdad? Está fea la situación, pero pues de todos modos tenemos que comer.
What's your message to Donald Trump if he's watching this?
Mis respetos, él tiene que según él buscar lo mejor para los suyos. Pero el detalle que ya están los consumidores, ¿no? Si no hubiera consumidores, pues.
So let me translate that media verbiage for the sane people watching the show. Hello, Mr. Murderous Criminal Gang member. Mean Mr. Trump called you guys bad guys. Did that hurt your feelings? And then he says, well, you know, it's an ugly situation and we have to eat. Oh, you guys are just businessmen then. That's, you know, okay, fine. Morgan, just when you think the media can't get low enough, they send somebody to effectively call the president a bad guy for calling the terrorist labeled cartels bad guys. Is this a new low? Will it keep getting lower? Will it ever rebound?
Are we shocked that CNN went to talk to a cartel member to say orange man bad, you know, all of the illegal immigrants in the cartel all just need to flourish in America? You know, they're just giving jobs to people. No, it is absolutely ridiculous that this interview even took place. And of course, you know, they're concealing his identity. Every single cartel member in this country, needs to be deported, and all criminal activity needs to be shut down, because the influx of fentanyl coming into our country, the human smuggling, the children trafficking, the sex trafficking, it has gotten out of hand in this country. We have millions of illegals on top of the trafficking going on, and these smugglers and these cartel members are at fault for those actions. So this isn't just Trump is bad because he's calling them terrorists. No, they are terrorists. They are entering our country. They're foreign nationals, essentially, coming into America and ruining American soil.
Morgan, I just really hope that those mean words against the murderous criminal drug cartel gang members didn't hurt their feelings. Chris, I'm going to give you the floor, but I don't hurt their feelings. That's very rude.
I will not. I didn't know that they were such a sensitive bunch, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. The funniest part of that entire interview is the fact that the cartels understand that Donald Trump is looking out for the American people more than the Democrats understand that Trump is looking out for the American people. They honestly acknowledge it. It's like, well, he's looking out for his people. Yeah, we are, and we're going to continue to do so under this Trump administration. Deportations incoming. Now, listen, I understand that these illegal aliens are doing the jobs that Americans don't want to do, like human trafficking, like drug trafficking, like I don't know, being a predator of children. That's not a job many Americans want to do. The cartels are fine to do that. This is insane. CNN running a puff piece for the cartel was not on the bingo card in 2025. I shouldn't say that I'm surprised. I'm not. But is this a new low until the next one? Possibly.
That would be a fun board game to play with friends. Like you roll a dice and it has media outlet, and then you roll another dice. This is covering for the cartel, covering for illegal immigrants, and see if those stories ever end up happening. Before the break, we'll be really brief on this. I thought this was fascinating. This is kind of completely outside of the political realm, but just from like a legalistic standpoint, I think it's really interesting. There was a group of gamblers that effectively rigged the Texas state lottery. There are 25 million potential number combinations at $1 a piece. Now, when the jackpot for this lottery got up to $95 million, there was a group that said, okay, well, if we buy 28 million tickets, one of them is going to hit, and the potential prize is $60 million. Well, it's exactly what happened, and now prosecutors in Texas and Texans and gamblers are trying to figure out, is this right? Is this a good thing? I mean, they technically didn't break any rules. Like, what is this, Morgan? Is this something that they should be in trouble for, or is it like, hey, you made a game with dumb rules and you got to live in it?
Hey, everything's bigger in Texas, and that includes buying as many lottery tickets as possible to try and win. I'm kind of for it. You know, if you have the brains and the smarts to be strategic and be like, listen, our odds are in our favor if we do this. Let's drop $25 million on these lottery tickets, and we can more than double our money. Why not? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this personally.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those where, you know, make a game with better rules or don't allow people to do that sort of. I'm not really a super big fan of states running their own lotteries to begin with, but that's completely beside the point. Chris, is this something that you and your buddies might get together and do if the opportunity arises?
Hey, if I had the buddies with that kind of capital, I think the sky is the limit. But the funniest thing about this entire story is Morgan saying everything's bigger in Texas, up to and including fraud. That's not something I expected on the show today. Yet here we are. Fraud is bigger in Texas. It is. No, these guys are geniuses. Shout out to these kids. Let's get them a job at Doge. This is unprecedented and brilliant.
Yeah, hey, if they're good at exploiting weak spots in systems, maybe that can be beneficial for the United States. Chris and Morgan will be right back after the break to discuss the Pope's insanely based brother, which is a hilarious story if you haven't been keeping up with it. Don't go away. We'll be right back after the break.